Hey fam, thank you so much for joining me back in the kitchen. Today's video is all about the Friday night fish fry. The Friday night fish fry is a thing that us from the Midwest, and I'm sure people in other areas do it too, but in the Midwest from Chicago, where I'm from, it was just the thing to be at and the thing to be involved in. It involved the food, the fish, the family, the friends. It would be all kinds of fish fried, and my mother and my aunts would lay it all out on the counter, and it was just an amazing time. The adults would have their beverage, and I guess our parents and the adults would be blowing off steam for the week, but I still carry on that tradition in my house and do a little Friday night fish fry. Sometimes we do it big like my family do it, and other times we just do a little small something in the house, just us, the kids, we play a few games. The Friday night fish fry is just the thing for me, and I just love it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the notification bell, like, give me your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be constantly putting this stuff out there for you. And as always, as I said, when you're dishing in the kitchen with Chef D, the thing I want you to leave with is that in all your eating, you need to be eating good. Don't forget that. I love you guys. Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to the kitchen today. So today is Friday, and what we do is called a Friday night fish fry. So that's something that's really kind of near and dear to me, because back home in Chicago, my family always did that. We would always do like a Friday night fish fry, and it would just be a big type of party. And I guess it was something that my parents did to relieve stress or something. I don't know. But it always held so many fond memories for me. And my family and I, we do it. We aren't going to do anything half as big as like what we would normally do or what my family would do. But I just wanted to make some of those dishes. But because of the Fat Friday night fish fry, every Friday night we end up doing some kind of seafood, okay? So tonight we're going to do a catfish dish with some shrimp. And we got a coleslaw going, and it's going to be really good. And you all know my underlying thing is that it's quick. It's not going to take all day, okay? So I got some catfish fillets over here, and I got 6 of them. And here, I love HEB for catfish, and I just really like it. So we got 6 catfish fillets from the HEB. But actually, nobody's really home tonight, so it's Nadia and I. Nadia is filming for me as usual. She's the best. And so what I'll do is end up seasoning this fish, and I'll put what we have left over in a Ziploc bag, and then that'll be in the freezer. I had someone ask me that question the other night. They said, so do you just always pre-season your food? And it's not really that I do it intentionally, but it's times like this. Since I had the fish out anyway to make the dish, what I'll do is just season it all and use what I'm going to make. So what I'll do, and this is one of Hitman's best and favorite dishes, and so that's why I'm going to make sure I season up some for him. So when he gets in tomorrow, I'll do this thing all over again just for him. Hey Hitman, I know you're out there somewhere. I hope you're able to tune in. Anyway, guys, back to this Friday night fish fry. It was such a tradition for me. I would be so excited when my mom and dad said that we were going to go over my aunt's house for the Friday night fish fry. I had an aunt on the west side of Chicago, Ella Mae. She was my paternal aunt, and she was my dad's sister-in-law. And so I fish fry. And on this fish, what I'm putting in pepper. And I'm not doing a whole lot because we're going to dredge it in some seasoned flour. And you'll know what dredging is real soon. And I even had some people that wanted to cook with me live. And even if you didn't get a chance to do that, you know what we're going to have. I'll post the recipe again the way we do it, but at least this way you get to see me do it, and you'll know what to expect when you start to do it.
Pop said, hey, sweetie boo.
Hey, T. So anyway, we got this going. So we're just seasoning that up just a little bit with the Old Bay and the lemon pepper. That's all we're going to put on that because, like I said, we've got a seasoned flour going. And so we don't want it to get too salty. So I'm only going to do 4 of these fillets. So the other 2 are going in a bag to be put away for Hitman for tomorrow. So you all can just ignore that. And that's how you see how I end up having food like in a bag. So think about it. During the week I do that sometimes with chicken. If I'm making a chicken dish, I'll do that. And then I'll put the rest of the chicken away. And then that way I have chicken for something else the next day. So now that we've got our fish fillets all seasoned up, we're going to take them over, and we are going to get to going with our flour and dredged mixture. Now, the best part of the Friday night fish fry that I thought when I was a little kid was watching my parents listen to the music, and I'm not gonna blast the music because, you know, you won't be able to hear me. But they always seem to have some kind of adult beverage in their hand. So right now, I'm gonna have an adult beverage in my hand while we are enjoying this Friday night fish fry, and we're gonna make this. And one day we'll do a show and we'll talk about adult beverages, but that one right there is really good, okay? So we're gonna set up our little station. Our station is gonna be our protein, which is our meat. We have a seasoned flour. In this flour, I have a little bit of salt, pepper, paprika. I have a little Creole seasoning, and a little bit of garlic powder. And when I'm talking about salt, I use pink Himalayan salt. You can find it loose, and I really like to buy it that way because it's cheaper. But McCormick even makes one now. And I use that because it's better for you. It's healthier for you than the regular iodized salt, and it tastes really good. And the other seasonings that you buy when they're pre-mixed, like this Creole, I'm only doing that because this dish has sort of that Creole kind of feel to it because of the sauce and because of the shrimp that we're using. So I just wanted to show you guys some of that stuff. So that's what's in the flour. Then you end up having 1 egg, and I want to say it is a 1/2 cup of milk. So that's for our batter. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to mix up a batter, you really don't have to, because you can easily just buy a prepared batter. But I wanted to make one, and I wanted a flour-based one because, like I said, we're going to put a sauce on this shrimp. And when we put the sauce on the shrimp, when we put the sauce from the shrimp onto the catfish, it can tend to make it a little bit soft. And I just don't want that cornmeal type, the cornmeal type of batter. But that batter would be fine if this was just something you wanted to do. This is more of like a kind of presentation type catfish dish. So, I mean, it's no rhyme or reason, and it's no right or wrong way. So we just mixed up our egg and our milk, and we got that going. And we're gonna put that to the side, and then I just will sprinkle just a little bit of the salt because, like I said, the flour is already seasoned, but you want every layer of your dish to be seasoned. So in this, we're just gonna put a little pepper and salt. We grab our fillet, we dredge it in our flour, like so. And you want to keep one hand dry, one hand wet. This is my dry hand, this is my wet hand. It's gonna go into the wet, like so. And then it'll go back into the dry. Wet, it'll go into here. We get the flour first. That's what helps your batter to stay on there. We go into the egg, like so. And then we're gonna come back into our flour. And you wanna get that all over your fish, okay? And when you get that done, you can let them sit just a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna move them out the way so we can get the other 2 pieces done. You just wanna get it into the flour like so. Get that flour all over it. And when I season that, I seasoned it with like a tablespoon of the seasoning. And I know it may sound crazy, but you can actually like taste the flour and you'll see it on there, okay? And so we're just gonna do that one, because we're just gonna do a couple of pieces at a time just for this. And then I wanna be able to, like I told you guys, show you how to make this sauce and plate it up for you, okay? So you get the idea of how this works. We've got one more piece, so I might as well do that so that when I clean my hands, we're all clean. So I don't know if you guys know or if you heard already, but down here in Texas, we just found out today that our children are not going back to brick and mortar for the rest of the year, school. So that means that I won't be going back to work, and Nadia won't be going back to the class. So that's a little bit different for us, but guess what? We're okay. We're going to keep it rolling and keep it moving and just keep doing what we need to do. And I think everybody will just be fine. So we've got this all done. What I'm going to do is dry this out a little bit because I had the raw fish in it, and we're going to cook it. And we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this. And guys, then we're going to get ready to drop our fish. Just let me get my hands cleaned up a little bit. And so our fish is all prepared, and what I did before I came on with you guys is I had oil going. And it's just a plain vegetable oil, and you can have your oil should be at about 350. I have this small fryer for inside the house, but normally if Hitman is here, he'll use the big fryer outside, and we are just going to drop our fillets in there, and we're just going to drop them in 2 at a time. And I'm going to cover that up, and we're going to let that go for a few minutes. Okay, so while that's going, we're going to get started on our shrimp. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So, we got some shrimp here. Okay, and let's move this out of the way. We don't need that anymore. And we got some shrimp going here, guys. And so the shrimp has been peeled, cleaned, and deveined. And if you don't know what that means, to peel a shrimp, you take the shell off, and I am taking it off all the way to the tail. I'm going to keep the tail on just for the presentation of this. You get your little knife, you run it along the back of the shrimp, and you clean out the shrimp if there's anything there. Hitman is here, and he normally does that part for me. When we have these big fish fries, he does that when we do the fish fry and the crab boil because we have so much, and that's normally what he'll do for me. So we got our shrimp all done, and all we're going to do for our shrimp is sprinkle it with a little Old Bay. That's what we're going to do. Sprinkle that with a little Old Bay, and we've got our skillet going. You all know I love the sizzle. We've got a pan over on the stove, a skillet. And in that skillet, we're going to put a little bit of butter and garlic, and we're going to get started with the shrimp. The shrimp needs nothing but the Old Bay on it because we're going to make a sauce for it.
Now, would you put oil or anything in the pan? Could you use anything besides butter? Like, could you substitute that if you wanted to?
Yes, you could substitute with oil, but since it's a shrimp dish and shrimp is so delicate, I only use butter. But even though I'm using butter, guys, I'm still going to coat my skillet with a little bit of oil, a tablespoon, but I'm only doing that because we don't want the butter to burn and turn color. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put the oil in, and then I'll put my butter in, and it'll give my shrimp that butter flavor, but it'll keep my shrimp from turning brown because the butter has turned brown. We don't want that to happen. That was a good question. So there's that. So we're gonna let that go for a little bit, and I keep losing my towel. So we got our skillet going, and we're going to let that go for a little while. Now, this recipe does not call for crushed red pepper at all, but I like a little bit of spice. So I'm going to add a little bit to this because I don't think I took any out. This is still going. I'm going to talk to you about this coleslaw. So we've got some grated cabbage over here. And you can buy it in the bag, but what do we talk about? If you buy it in the bag, I still want you guys to wash it. Rinse it, do something. Do not just take it out the bag and eat it, because what you have to think about is vegetables are still being processed. And so you know that you don't grow a cabbage shredded like that, which means it had to be handled by something or someone, and you want to be able to clean that, okay? So in this bowl, and I can post the recipe if you like, in this bowl I have some Miracle Whip salad dressing, mayo, sugar, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of paprika, and a little bit of cayenne. And we're going to mix that up really good. And I'm not liking how that's mixing, so we're going to grab the trusty old mix and mix, 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 mix. Because you want it kind of smooth. Now, the thing about coleslaw is you need to make coleslaw really far in advance. And I'm just doing this so you guys can see this because I have some already made, because coleslaw needs time. The dressing will get in because it has a little bit of apple cider vinegar in it, and it'll start to break down that cabbage, and it won't be tough, and the flavors will go into the cabbage and make it really good. And some people aren't a fan of coleslaw, and I get that, but it's really good for those that like it. And so this is a good dressing that you can make. It's a nice homemade dressing for it. And so we've got our cabbage. It's shredded cabbage, carrots, and I have a small amount of red onion. And we're just going to put, and parsley. Now, also, I need to put a little bit of salt and pepper because I didn't do that. Normally, I would have had the salt sitting on the cabbage before we even made the dressing.
We have a question. They ask, can you substitute something for apple cider vinegar?
You know what? Apple cider vinegar has its own kind of flavor, so it's really kind of mild. Regular vinegar would be too strong, so I'm not really sure about. The only thing I would say is you could substitute a red wine vinegar, but I am not a fan of red wine vinegar because red wine vinegar is bitter. But you know what? You could substitute balsamic vinegar, but balsamic is darker and it has a deeper, stronger taste. I like balsamic too. You could do that, but I think people turn away from balsamic because it's very dark, so it turns the color of things. But that would be really good. A balsamic would be good. That's a great question. Balsamic would be good. Okay, so now this coleslaw really needs to sit, and what'll happen is like it'll get soft and it'll, you know, have a good flavor and all of that. So this was just done just to show you all what it looks like, but I would never make coleslaw like right before you're getting ready to serve it because it needs time to sit. You all know me and my trusty old spoon. And I did just what we said we were not going to do. So this is what I wanted to show you all. Things can happen in everybody's kitchen, trust me. It even happens on the HGTV kitchen. So what we did not want was for that burner to burn because I want that skillet, I want that shrimp to stay nice and clear. So we're about to start that process all over again. Here we go. We're going to heat up the skillet, and I'm going to watch it this time instead of playing with coleslaw. But let me taste that dressing just to see. When that dressing is perfect, the coleslaw is going to be great whenever they breaks down. So what we'll do is let the coleslaw sit to the side. And then when I plate it, you guys will get a chance to see it. Now we're going to start over with this skillet. And it's probably because I needed some of my adult beverage. That's why I forgot my skillet was on.
Hey, Diane Drew said, all I want to know is what's into the atmosphere.
Yes, thank you. Believe it or not, while we have been on this hiatus, I have been writing down recipes, and I started out with the thought of I wanted to write them for my daughters to have, you know, and I didn't think lately you need to just do this seriously. So y'all, the skillet is going now. I don't have my sizzle yet, but Diane, I know you know I like the sizzle. But you really don't want too much sizzle when you're putting garlic in because garlic will burn. So I got a little sizzle, but that's really all I want. Add the shrimp because I don't want the garlic to get dark. So there's that, and then we got our shrimp that has been sprinkled with that Old Bay, and we're gonna put that in there. And it smells delicious. Absolutely great. So there's our shrimp. And I have told you all, when you are cooking your shrimp, put some parsley on there. Look how much better that just looks. Doesn't that just look better already? So what we're going to do is let that cook. And as you can, oh yeah, that's looking good. So our catfish is really brown over there. So the shrimp is going from that translucent, almost see-through color to this pink. And that's what we want. And so I'm going to take them out. They're not totally done all the way through, but we're going to take them out, and I'm going to keep them to the side to warm because now we're getting ready to make a sauce. We're going to put the shrimp, keep your shrimp to the side so that it can stay warm. Remove your fish. And our fish is pretty and brown. I am liking how that's looking. I'm going to drop another couple of pieces in there. Okay. And this little fryer goes really fast. And guess what? Don't freak out if you don't have a fryer. Guess what? I cooked a long time without having a fryer or any of that stuff. Get you a good old trusty skillet. If you got a cast iron skillet, it is the best thing for frying. if it's been seasoned. And we'll talk about that. So while that's going, we're going to start working on this sauce for this shrimp. So if you notice, we got our skillet here. We're going to open up Corona. I figured that would be fitting. This sauce can be made with wine. It can be made with beer. And it can be made with just plain old seafood stock if you don't want it. So we're going to start off by putting a fourth of a cup of beer. And I thought Corona would have been really cute to use because, hey, Corona is the reason we all at home. So we're going to let that go.
I think beer is fitting for a fish fry anyway.
Right, because you've heard of beer battered shrimp and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to let that go. I want to get this garlic down, y'all, so I'm going to go grab a spatula. Okay, y'all, so we're going to let that go for a minute. I know, and the reason I'm doing that, you may say it's just beer, what are you letting go? What happens is you want to be able to let most of the alcohol cook out because basically you just want the flavor, okay? And what I did, because I had somebody ask me, how do you remember it all? Is, as I'm preparing the things to cook for you guys, what I do is I put it in that I should be using it, okay? And what will happen is it'll reduce. It'll look like there's nothing left in the skillet, and it really is something left. We're going to let that go. And it'll still leave us like that little bit of beer flavor in there that we want. Okay? So we're going to let that go. That's looking good. Then we're going to add half of these green onions. I guess that's about a fourth of a cup or so. I don't know. We're going to add that, and then we're going to add some cream. I know you all are saying, this girl cooks with a lot of cream, but cream makes really good sauces, and it's a heavy cream. And I think that comes because, in all honesty, French school, and they use cream and wine. These are just things I've adapted to our taste buds. Some seasoning. I got some crushed red pepper, some salt, some pepper, some Old Bay. It's just all kinds of stuff. I like this. I did that. It has a little cayenne because it gives you that red color. We really want this sauce to have like that little red. Red is what we're doing with that. We're going to check on our fish. So look at that. Even if I was cooking for like a lot of people, because you're putting the fish in, it's really not that hard and it doesn't take that long to get it done, guys. It goes really quick. And we're going to add some paprika to this. Only because paprika is just pretty. I just want a little more paprika in there.
Tracy Johnson asked, what was in the square dish?
And here's oh, that was lemon juice. I'm sorry, y'all. I added some lemon juice to the cream. Tracy, hey! What's up, cuz? Tuning in way from up there in the north. So she knows all about the Friday night fish fries. So we got that going. We're going to let that cook down. I want it to boil some. And we're going to get rid of that, get rid of the spatula for a little bit. Let that sit over there because I need to actually whip this up just a little bit. I'll let that go. And I have a paprika that's like a smoked kind of paprika, and I need to try and find that. I should have had that out because I'm only going through this because there is a certain color that I want, and I want this sauce a little bit redder than what it's doing, and my regular paprika is not doing it, so we're going to try to find that little smoked red, and I'll be back. Let me just put one of my little dishes. It's going to give us a little more red. That's that little smoked paprika. I'm going to put some of that in there. It doesn't have like a taste that you would have to be worried about like salt or anything, so you don't have to worry like if I keep adding this, is it going to make my dish salty? No, it's not. Because it'll give it more of like just a salty, not a salty, but a smoky kind of flavor. So we're going to put all of that in there. And we're going to stir this down. Cream can cook down a lot, and it had that alcohol in it, so it can reduce a lot and be okay. Okay. So got that going. Let me check on this fish. Yep, fish is looking great. And y'all, I have a bad habit. I touch everything with my hands. My kids call me asbestos hands. They're like, that doesn't burn your hand. I guess because I've been in the kitchen so long that I'm probably heat resistant. It bothers me like that.
No, you're definitely heat resistant.
Are we gonna taste that? We are on point already. Y'all know what I told y'all about the spoons. That was just my. So let's get and see what's going on with fish. I think we got some more fish ready. And I think I want to take these out a little bit before those. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. See that? That is gorgeous. Okay. Look at that. Look at here. Look at here. That's what I'm talking about. That is going to be delicious. So we're going to turn that off. We're going to let this sauce go, right? A little bit more. We're going to come over here and grab our shrimp. I just had the shrimp in there keeping it warm, right? So now, we're going to pour this shrimp back up in there. You get in there. Take a bath in the beauty. Take a bath in the beauty. Okay? Now, y'all, if my husband was home, he would make a great pasta dish for this. And I didn't do that today. He normally does that. I just wanted to do a little quick fish dish for you all. Okay, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with it was ready. So we don't want it to heat. We got our fish. And then we're going to plate up. I'm just trying to take that shrimp off of the fire. Girl.
A lot of people are saying the fish looks really pretty.
Yes. Look at God. Now, a couple of them got kind of dark, but that's all right. We're gonna mix and match. See, we're going to do it like that. So, but you know what? Because I want you to get a full fit, we're going to take it like that, right? Okay. Then we get a few of the shrimp. The sauce is crazy amazing. It tastes so good. Simple stuff, y'all, in the refrigerator that you never thought you could put together to make a dish, you can. And it ends up so good, okay? So we got some shrimp going. Get our little shrimp here. And of course, all of this shrimp would make it to the plate because my son would be like, what are you doing? Get all that out there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that for little T. We're going to get all of the shrimp out here. What are you all doing for the weekend? I hope everybody, we can't get out, but I hope you're not going too cuckoo. Have y'all been listening to the chef? Has everybody been doing something that you needed to be doing, something that you knew you should have been doing? Spending some time with yourself, listening to God, taking some moments to just reflect and have a good time with your family and all of that. I really hope that you are doing that. I'm so serious about that. So serious about that. Really.
She's saying you can't hear her.
Oh, you can't hear me? Nadia, is your hand over the microphone?
Mm-mm.
Can you hear me now? Am I still not being able to be heard?
No, if it's weird.
Got me? Okay, guys, so here's our fish, right? Can they hear me yet now?
I don't know. They haven't said anything yet.
Who couldn't hear me?
If you guys can still hear us, could you please put in the comments so we can see?
We good? Here's that. Look. Parsley. Because this is seafood. You get your little Old Bay around. Look at that. And I told you, I am never in the kitchen for a very long time. We're going to find some green onions. Look at that. And we have finished our glamorous fish for the Friday night fish fry. What you think? It smells amazing, y'all, and it's going to taste even better. I hope you all can still hear me, but here we are. Here's our fish for tonight. So, I'm going to have a piece of that. And then I'm going to have some more of my adult beverage. And going to have some coleslaw. That's some good eating right there, seriously. So, I'm going to put this recipe up. If you guys want it, you can do this. You see how quick it was. Don't trip about any of the gadgets, any of that stuff. If you don't have a fryer, get you a skillet. Do you a batter, like I told you. If you don't know how to do the batter, buy you the little fish fry in the pack. It's okay, I promise you. Fry up you some fish, make you a little sauce, put it over it, and there you go. You got a glamorous little meal. You wouldn't even mind serving that to somebody. You know what I mean? It's cute. Now, when we used to go to the Friday night fish fry, you remember that big board I had? My aunt and my mom, they would have fish totally down the table on one board, shrimp down the next, and my aunt made the best scratch German chocolate cake. So she would make one just for us because we didn't like pecans as little kids. And so we would have that, and she made this jello, and they would be listening to the Teddy Pendergrass and all the music and having their little adult beverage, and it was so much fun. So I hope that this helps you all to just have a good time thinking about stuff that you did as a little kid with your family and all that. Get you some good food, play you some games tonight, watch a movie, and know that we love you all, okay? I'm praying for you all. If you got any questions, just post them, and we're going to start taking this over to YouTube where everybody can get a chance to see the video. I can post the recipes, and then you don't have to worry about catching me live. But know that in all of this, I told you before, and I'm going to keep saying it, God is the beginning and the end. There was a beginning to this, and there's going to be an end to it. You just keep the faith, keep your head up, keep doing what you know He's telling you to do, and you're going to come out on top. We're going to come out like new money. I keep saying that. So don't look at me crazy when we come out like that. We're going to come out of this like new money. I really believe that. I love you all, and you all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.